There's a prayer that's traditionally prayed upon waking up in the morning and even before one gets out of bed. The words are Modeh ani lefanecha. I gratefully thank you, O living and eternal King, for you have restored my soul within me. Rabbah emunatecha. Abundant is your faithfulness. In antiquity, sleep, because of the mystery involved with it and because one is unaware of their surroundings, was seen as a foretaste or a very diminished form of death. And so those words spoken upon arising express a great deal of hope. They're words, first of all, of thanksgiving. Modeh ani, I thank you. They're words that exalt God in his sovereignty, living and eternal God. The words speak of God's power. You have restored my soul within me. And of course, they recount God's faithfulness, steadfastness, that God can be counted upon. Rabbah emunatecha, even after the mystery of a good night's sleep. In the 3rd chapter of Lamentations, we find a personal, individual lament, likely expressing the experience after the destruction of Jerusalem and being exiled. And the lament is intense. Words like, I am the man who has seen affliction under the rod of his wrath. He has driven and brought me into darkness without any light. Surely against me he turns his hand again and again the whole day long. Lament doesn't get a whole lot deeper than that. The imagery can't get much more bleak. But it's in the midst of Lamentations chapter 3 that we find some of the most encouraging and hopeful words in all of the scriptures, and yes, words that include the basis for some of the phrases in that Modeh ani prayer. In Lamentations chapter 3, beginning in verse 21, it says, But this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Rabbah emunatecha. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I will hope in him. There's a well-known phrase, I know it from the words of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that says, only when it is dark enough can one see the stars. And I think that this phrase, this encouraging word in the middle of Lamentations chapter 3, one of the most intense laments expressing some of the deepest sadness in all of the scriptures, gives us this note of hope. That every single morning, as surely as we wake up, as surely as we open our eyes, as surely as we're able to move toward that which we have before us on that day, so can we count on the faithfulness of the living God in our lives. Therefore, we have hope. When we wake up in the morning, the possibilities are endless in terms of doing works that give glory to the living God, in terms of being able to connect and commune with the living God, in terms of being able to lend our hand to others and to be a blessing in the lives of others. I hope that in the midst of a season that can seem so bleak and can be so difficult for us day in and day out, we will find that strength and we will find that time each and every day to say, God, Your mercy is in fact, your mercies are in fact renewed in my life this morning, and I want to live accordingly.